Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of the Lookout Podcast. I'm of course Meelz. I'm here with LJ. What is up?
Nothing much. Been a very chill day today. Like past couple days have been real chill, so I feel chill. I'm happy about that.
Have you been in the fall anime season? Are you feel like we're fully truly entrenched within all of this currently?
Yeah, definitely. I feel the weather plays a role in it. Like,
why do you say that?
Because it's starting to get chilly. So I'm I'm inside the house. I'm anime is what I want to be watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. I think there's a whole feel for fall anime. Spring. I feel like spring anime, you still want to be outside. So
right.
Spring anime, spring summer anime, those are different because those are just the ones where I'm all right, I'm actually gonna make time to sit inside to watch this.
Well, all right. So how about this? If you had to rank the season's anime, and I'm not sure, it really just depends whenever things release stuff. It's not really, but if you had to rank the past 4 seasons, let's go from last winter to spring, summer, and then this fall. So last winter, I even forgot what we had. We
had Attack on Titan last winter.
We had Attack on Titan last winter. That's definitely true.
Did we have season 5 of My Hero going?
I think it ended. I want to say it ended.
It ended.
I want to say it ended. Did it end during the fall? Huh. That's a good question. Because I kind of low-key want to see if it ended right before fall. That's what I figured.
It ended in the fall. September.
It ended in the summer. So that's technically the summer. So it ended in the summer. Okay. It went through spring and summer. So
2022 anime. Let's see. What was popping?
Let's see. So I remember we had AOT. We had
we had Demon Slayer.
We had I think the second part of Jujutsu. No, I'm bugging. That's last year.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen they've been chilling.
Yeah. But all right, forget if you had to rank them just based on feel, what you felt like you watched the most or when you were watching the most anime, what would you say? Because I would probably say fall was number 1, winter last year is number 2. I forgot what happened in spring, and I really feel like I didn't watch anything in the summer. So it might be spring 3, summer 4.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I think my list is the same. I think it's fall, winter, spring, summer. Cause spring had me at first. Cause spring, Aoashi started the first court. What else? Spy Family was in the spring. What else is in the spring? I feel like there are some big things.
That might have been it to me. I don't know. I feel like legitimately.
I feel like there's probably a couple more. But the thing is that I started probably watching the first 3 episodes, and after that, I was just I'm finna just wait until the second court comes out. I'll catch up when I need to, and then
shame. Well, you were the manga guy, so I get it.
Yeah, I was the manga guy. I didn't. There's nothing for me to see. I think that's the hard part about reading so much manga. But it also makes anime, watching anime more fun for me. Because, I like to let the season just run. And then I'll watch it all in one, chunk. Because that's how I feel I even read anime.
Right.
I sometimes let chapters just build up so I can just read a big chunk at once.
That's interesting. I always I'm making an event every week. For me, the weekly thing, and I don't get me wrong, I've loved absorbing anime in large chunks, and I can do that shit forever. But I absolutely implore and absolutely love the week by week thing. I make an event out of it. I chill, I relax. Every Saturday, I'm watching Spy Family. I wait till Spy Family comes out so I can watch My Hero, and I can also watch Mob Psycho. Haven't started Blue Lock yet. But I'll get there.
No rush with that. Let it.
No, it's new. No, it's new. I really don't I have nothing. I have I have no stakes in it. I didn't read it or anything of the rather. But that's interesting. Listen, nonetheless, we are here. We are here. we got one big exciting news thing. I didn't even want to do news this episode because I want to kind of focus on the big event that happened over the last week, which was the release of Chainsaw Man. When we talked about fall anime last week, the discussion was, I mean, we talked about the hype of Chainsaw Man and all this other stuff like that, but I really wanted to get it all on its own, especially for this first episode, because it's one of the most hyped. It is probably the most hyped anime of the year. I can't even say one of the most hyped. It is probably, in terms of anime hype, it is number one, and for good reason. But there's something else that's also hyped. That's coming out really, 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 really soon. So last week, it was unveiled. Hunter x Hunter is returning to Shonen Jump October 23rd. The first volume returns sometime next month. I forgot the actual date itself. But it's not even going to be in Japan, so it doesn't even matter. I mean, it's not going to be in America, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. We're cooked on that end.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless they did work and like, yo, I wrote all these chapters, just translate them all at once, and then we'll release them worldwide, which would be fire. Which would be
that'd be tough. That'd be tough. I'd be most love if you did that.
Hunter x Hunter returns next week to Shonen Jump. Are you someone who has read between where the anime stopped and where the hell we are at now? Which I have no idea where the hell we're at.
I am like a couple. So Hisoka and Kroyo fought. I'm like a little bit past that.
Are you
like? There's stuff there's even stuff that like I haven't read yet that like I'm so happy. First of all, yo, shout out to SJ for not hoeing us. I was really concerned that they were either gonna just start releasing chapters, or they just kind of being like, hey, listen, if y'all need to catch up or whatever, go buy the volumes. And then if they were gonna unlock the volumes and take them out the vault, like they weren't gonna do all of them. They did the whole fucking series, like from chapter 1 all the way to shout out to them. That's love.
So let me ask you this question: have you not caught up based on like you're not interested? You knew it was incomplete, so you didn't care to read on further, or like why is the reason that you're not like caught up? I'm curious on that aspect.
Real shit. I didn't buy like the volumes, and so I'm like, okay, cool. If I could buy the volumes, but also at the same time, the like links that I was using to like read it on other shit, it was bad. They sucked. The translation sucked. I couldn't find a good one.
Give you all types of dick pills and all these other things.
Yeah, bro, it just got annoying, man. Like that's the worst thing about like reading counterfeit shit. I'm like, listen, man, like, can you quit putting like anime hentai titties in my face, bro? Like I'm just trying to like, all I want to do is enjoy this manga that I can't get on anywhere else. Like if I could pay to get another service where it's just like I can just. Like the Shonen Jump app is just so like you get them right there, like it's easy to navigate all that. Like other ones, I'm like they're incomplete, and then it's that. Yeah. I'm not gonna pay for nothing that's incomplete. It's like
no, I agree. I think we're in this era now where it's like even pirating itself is kind of like. I mean, yeah, pirating itself is passe. You're paying for the convenience, absolutely. You pay for Crunchyroll because you're like, okay, all the anime is there. I can watch it. I don't really have to like connect my TV to my laptop or sit with my laptop for 18 hours like we used to do back in the day. Like, there's so many different other things and so many different avenues. So we're definitely paid for convenience. So Shonen Jump definitely did all them damn chapters. And listen, we might have some content this week to catch you guys up as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna catch up. We're gonna catch up as a family.
Because I have no idea what happens after the anime ends. I thought the anime ending was a solid ending. Like, and then everything I heard of what happens after the anime ends made no sense to me. Like, I didn't see how the story could continue when I think the general plot of the story was it was resolved in a way.
He found his dad. Like that was like the big thing. Like he's looking for this nigga daddy, and like this nigga go through a hell of shit to go find
over
his daddy.
several arcs. The man became a hunter itself. He did a lot of like extracurricular shit just to find his dad. Finds his dad, and then I guess the dad is still the same motherfucker, and he's
the same nigga. He ain't
and it is. So like
That's
to
why
me,
I fuck with him so much though. He stayed to his guns. He was like, you know what, this is who I am, kid. He was just like, you gonna roll with it.
I have no idea where you just went. But nonetheless, like to me, it didn't make sense everything happening afterwards, and everything happening afterwards is kind of like an epilogue for me. Like all of this, everything that I'm seeing Crollo versus Hisoka. I'm seeing Dark Continent arc. All this other stuff to me is epilogue. After the main quest, after the main characters arc, I hear Gon is not even featured in it too much afterwards, which is it's a choice. But considering Togashi is back seemingly to finish the story, and kind of wrap up this chapter for fans who've loved this for the past, I want to say, 24 years. I'm interested to see where he goes with this. I haven't tuned in. I can catch up, and you can do it all in the Shonen Jump.
Listen, catch up, bro. It's worth it.
Is it? All right. You know what? I will.
It's worth catching up. It's worth catching up.
I mean, at this point, I'm happy for Hunter x Hunter fans. I feel like they were the ones who were, and not to say that I'm not a Hunter x Hunter fan, but I'm not a Hunter x Hunter stan. But like, I'm happy for those who feel like, okay, they get to, because the feeling of incomplete is like it's a raw feeling. It's like something like, it's like a relationship that like ended and you have no conclusion and things are kind of just up in the air and you still don't know like how to process a lot of different things. So now you get a little bit of closure with Hunter x Hunter. And I think that's so important in telling the story. And I'm happy he's at the point where, because these mangaka apparently this weekly manga,
man, they're healthy.
Weekly manga be whooping their ass, man.
Bro, listen, they need some sea moss, bro. They need something. That's a new health thing right now, bro. Pop on that sea moss or something. Nah, absolutely. But I completely agree with what you're saying, though. I think there is this weird feeling of like incomplete. Like there's just something weird about it. It doesn't sit right as a fan when something isn't completed all the way, whether it be a manga or an anime or whatever. When it just happens, you're stuck because now, like in your head, you feel like, okay, obviously there is some lore to like when a manga ends, like having some open-ended questions. But it's like when you but there's also like a feeling of like, nah, this like concludes everything though. Like with this, like there is no point in which it feels like that outside of, I feel like you said, the ending in the anime. Like that felt like a good at least stopping point anime wise. But yeah, I think I'm really happy that he's back. I'm definitely gonna catch up though. We all gotta catch up. We can definitely do something special breaking it all down because it's a special series. Plus I watched a Hunter x Hunter movie over the week and that was fun. That was a good movie.
Never seen it. It was in a poll once for Summer at Kame House. The people did not choose it, so I never watched it.
It makes no sense. I'm gonna be real. It like the storyline makes like no sense at all, but it's cool.
As anime movies of, I guess, the past.
Yeah, like, man, anime movies, like the plot is just like a bunch of bullshit. They kind of fuck up.
Canon, not canon.
Yeah. Non-canon. They kind of fuck up Killua a little bit. That's a whole nother topic, though. I gotta talk about Killua. I feel like Togashi be doing him a little dirty sometimes, but
it's worth a discussion. It definitely is worth a discussion.
He be making them look soft. Like no one gets picked on by their older brother that much. Like his older brother is in this nigga's head, literally. But
maybe we can finally see the one-on-one encounter considering we're continuing this series and maybe ending this series. Maybe we
Nah,
can finally see him.
we need it.
With that said, that was fun. That was a fun little excerpt, little interlude with Hunter x Hunter. So we got
We gotta
that to
get
look
to.
forward to.
We got some big things though to talk about.
Listen, Chainsaw Man. And I will say this, listening to this, first of all, I look forward to reading everyone's reviews or listening to everyone's reviews. I actually have not, as of the recording of this. I'm interested in my guys. Shout out to Micah and Justin for Sound Only on Spotify for The Ringer. I have not listened to the episode of yet because I wanted to finish. I wanted to get my all thoughts out before I listen to their thoughts because I hold their thoughts in high regard. But Chainsaw Man is without a doubt the most hyped anime of the year, maybe the most hyped anime since Jujutsu Kaisen and that's premiere. Um,
I can't argue with that. I'm right there with you. I
this
think
this
there's
is to
something about
me
this.
usually the way anime kind of works, or at least the way manga sales kind of work, is you release the manga, it does the people who read manga read it, the people who love it, and then when the anime comes out, boom, shoots to the moon. There's two distinct. I mean, I don't even want to say it's two distinct series that happened because that definitely happened to Demon Slayer. If you want to look at how anime affects manga sales, look no further than Demon Slayer, who would occupy the first 14 slots of manga best sales every week after that movie dropped, after the anime dropped, after that episode 19 dropped.
I think it knows real still crazy is Jujutsu Kaisen movie still has not touched Demon Slayer movie.
Well,
Demon,
nah,
Demon Slayer, what I know this is all tangible. What that movie did is still like mind blowing to me.
I think
The crazy numbers I put up. I mean, the crazy numbers are still putting up because it's always like number 2 right behind Jujutsu Kaisen when you talk about manga sales or in that like top 3 realm.
I think I think it's because of how a little bit more simplistic that Demon Slayer is compared to Jujutsu Kaisen. And then also the production of Jujutsu Kaisen's anime is fucking insane. Like it's a movie damn near every week.
Yeah.
Especially to me what they did earlier this year with the Entertainment District arc, that has not been touched to me this year
Oh,
at all.
bro, it's
But
light years ahead. It's
but
scary.
but if there's one anime that I think can touch this, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Sorry, if there's one anime that I think I can touch this, it's Chainsaw Man because I think um, I asked. So the first question I wanted to ask is why do people love Chainsaw Man? Because it has become, like I said previously, or what I was directing towards. Usually, it's the manga sales kind of spike after the anime drops, but this one was kind of in reverse, where the manga sales actually go up before the anime drops, and all the hype is coming together for this anime, which is something. It's not that it hasn't been done before, but it's rarely kind of done in these kind of series. It really has to. The landscape of manga and anime is really in a different place if this kind of stuff is happening. But why are people? You, as someone who covered it week to week for quite some time, and read through it, like what kind of traits did you see in Chainsaw Man? It was like I could see why people like this shit.
I think right now it feels just so much different than everything else. Especially when you're talking about like popular shonen anime. I think this has the same thing that Berserk has in terms of people are drawn to a tragic story. Like they just are. And like immediately when you meet Denji, he's down bad, as down bad as any person can get. So you obviously you're with him throughout this story, and like it's not that life gets much, like it gets better for him in terms of just like from where he was, but it's like he still goes through these tragedies and he still's going through these things. It's like it's not like a feel good story. Like you don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? There's no like bright bubbly moments for me with this. Like even how things end for him, I'm just like cool. It just feels like, all right, he just got out of got out of a really bad situation. I ain't feeling like happy though. I don't know. I think there's just this allure to those type of things. I think we're just so used to it. We're so used to seeing like the power of friendship and this and that, and like you can do anything like this. This is like, no, Denji has a fucked up life. Like these people are in fucked up situations. Um, I think that there is definitely like messages and hidden things in there and like deeper points to the story that you can really get through, but it's like it's end of the day it's a tragedy, but something that just draws you in. And Fujimoto wasn't like afraid to, I feel like, push the line in so many ways. Once again, especially with how like other shonens look right now and how they feel, like this is something completely different. And Fujimoto's just a great writer. He wrote a great story. End of the day, it's just a great story, and I feel that those type of things are always gonna sell. Like
Yeah,
he was able to match up just a whole bunch of things were able to just to align for him, from the characters to the story to the feeling, like like the stars align. And the voice that he has in this story isn't a voice that like has ever changed. It's very true. Even if you read like some of his past works, like Fire Punch, it has that same feel as this, but this is so much more refined and just so much on another level. And what he was able to do week to week, listen, my hat's off to him. He killed it. And like once again, end of the day, just a great story that people are gonna fall into.
man, Fujimoto put his whole foot and ass into this shit. And I think that's really why, one of the main reasons why this is so good. I think there's like several different, like, I think when you talk about it's a tragic story, it's also like a humorous tragic story.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
it uses like a lot of dark humor that isn't really seen in kind of anime. Usually when you have these tragic things, there's these tragic moments. The first one of the most pivotal tragic moments to me, well, not pivotal, but like one that really hit me, the original Dragon Ball, Krillin dies. That to me was like, whoa, insane. Whereas in Chainsaw Man, I mean, damn near Denji dies damn near the first episode, and he's pulled
And
back
not
from
just in the and not just in a like, oh, he died type of way. Like he was mutilated.
he was absolutely mutilated, and it was
Like
like,
it was gruesome and gory and like uncomfortable. Like you're like, what? Damn! Like he got fucked. Like he really got the short end of the stick of that one. Like
yeah.
that was ass.
But as the story goes on, and you'll see in future episodes and stuff like that, like there's these characters that's introduced and the relationships between all of them, and kind of like the unsettling, oh my god, how he kind of writes these characters, and kind of like all of them are very distinct in their own way, but all of them are very like unsettling in their own way. And to me, Tatsuki Fujimoto, to me, you I always think, or at least I'm beginning to see, especially with manga writers, you got to be a little bit off to write like
Oh, you got to. The
manga,
stuff that
like,
they, listen, the
or
stuff that they
anime or
write
whatever.
about, the stuff that they think about, the stuff that they write about, like even the Beast. I fucked around and watched Pimpin' 101, the anime, Beast Tamers, and
All right, go
that's
off.
Pimpin' 101, man. Listen, it's crazy. No, but not even watching Beast Tamers and just like the story there, I'm just like, who thinks of this? Like, who sits there and just like in their head is like, this is the story and this is how I'm
Who
gonna do it.
who thinks of anime like Dr. Stone, of like the entire world would be petrified and we're going to start over and that's going to be the basis of this anime? Who thinks of story like The Promised Neverland, where it's like, okay, we're actually an orphanage, but no, these orphans are being sold
Being
for,
sold for
yeah,
food to these
to demons,
aliens.
yeah, to these demons and shit like that, and we actually, there's a human world and a demon world and blah blah blah. Like, who thinks of this? Like, you got to be kind
Nah,
of off.
it's you got
And,
to, and
and
the
to
way and
me,
like the lengths they go to like push it. That's to be my thing. I'd be like, you got to do all that. Be like, I
and,
guess.
and to me, he manages to um, create this thread between the characters and the readers that's so strong, and he does it very very quickly. And that may be because he's used to writing these short anime things. And if you beyond, I don't know if they'll ever make these things actual animes itself, but his one shots was called Look Back, about the manga writer, and then Goodbye Eri, which is like now damn near going to be critically acclaimed at this point for just how it was put together. The it's a 200-page one shot. He wrote a 200-page manga. Like, who does that? And it's very, there's an unsettling part about it, but there's also like a human part about it, and I think that's what he does so well, and I think that's what he brings to life in this Chainsaw Man thing, because there's there's a very human aspect in all this blood, gore, guts, and very distinct storytelling that he does. And
Definitely. There, like, once again, he has his voice, and I think his voice, and he has worked so hard to refine it and worked so hard to like make it his, that if anyone ever attempted to do something like this, you will automatically be like, you know where you got that from. Like, you know where, like, you know where you bit that from, or you know you're able to find that. Like, that's how like refined his voice is now with his writing and with his style. Like,
and there's a little bit of like the anime. I won't say it's extra, but what I say it is, I think I'm more like over the top. Like when you look at the gore and blood and guts and things, like he's like in the first episode, he's like when he becomes a chainsaw man, he's like drilling through people's like organs and shit like that.
yeah,
When you see in future episodes, I have no idea if they'll do all the nudity that you can see in this thing, but we might get there.
nah,
Um,
they're not. They're not. And
you never
listen,
know.
anime plays by different rules than manga.
Oh, this is true, but there's quite a
Anime
bit of
plays by
nudity.
different.
Th-
Yeah, there's a
There,
little bit. There's
there's
enough.
a whole chapter. Yeah, there was a whole chapter that was taken out that you had to like pretty much go off of the Shonen Jump app to find, so you could read the. And I was like, wow, this is okay, but it's different, right? Like it's willing to push the boundaries, and I think that's what Fujimoto does, is like willing to push the boundaries of what the actual conventional shonen protagonist is. He isn't. He's a little bit, he's a shonen protagonist, and obviously there's this like, he's gonna beat every villain and all this other stuff like that, but there's also like this weird self-mutilating part to him that you don't really see in a lot of um Shonen Jump main characters.
Yeah.
And it's different. And then also you have to talk about when you talk about why people love Chainsaw Man, you look no further. If you go on Twitter and you search enough, you'll find all the incredible panels and the
Oh, the
artwork
artwork is crazy.
and just the vision of it. Like you could put them in it. Like Chainsaw Man could have its own art exhibit based on these panels, because the vision behind some of these stuff. If you look and you see the thing with the astronauts, or like um one of the final chapters where he's sitting on top of like the graves and stuff like that. And I don't want to get too much into the actual manga itself, but these are like panels itself that could just be art on its own. And I think Chainsaw Man now it's been fully colored. I think it's been fully colored. I know a lot of chapters have been released in color officially.
So there was an
um
exhibit.
oh, well, yeah. Shit. All
Yep.
right, well, duh. Because yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it was in France. He had, well, it wasn't just for Chainsaw Man, it was for like all his art. But yeah, they had one in France
Listen,
for him.
we
That's
we
hard.
gonna we gonna turn it up. I mean, we might bring it to America, because at this point, when this anime goes up and goes off, I hope it receives the same kind of acclaim. It's very interesting the way anime comes over to America, and how well it's received. I think Demon Slayer is kind of an anomaly of like, it's a very entryway. People beyond just the anime scope have seen this and are interested in it.
I think, yeah, and Demon Slayer has, I think, solidified itself as the perfect entry shonen.
Yeah, of this
There's
generation at least.
of this generation for sure. I would say even beyond that, but my personal opinion. Um, it, it's a simple story, simple characters, simple like drive. The artwork takes it completely next level. Like, it's really great to like watch. I feel Chainsaw Man is on the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like, listen, you got to be kind of a seasoned anime person to be fucking around and just jump into Chainsaw Man.
But also, you're not taking your kids to see Chainsaw Man.
Oh
Like,
no, you're definitely not. Nah, this you're definitely not.
like you can take them and you can see, because they're not like,
I
I
wouldn't
guess,
take them to see Demon Slayer either. I'll take them to
no.
see
Well,
Dragon Ball.
actually, I don't know. Why not Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer is a cute story. I mean, you get people's heads cut off, but other than that, there's not like. I think there's factors like
What are we counting as kids? I'll say like a
you say like what?
yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, how old? I have a 7-year-old. Will I take my 7-year-old to go see Demon Slayer?
I feel
Oh, she's
like
about to be 7.
well, let's see what the hell the movie was rated, and I'll let you know if you should officially take it to see Demon Slayer the movie. I mean, she's gonna see it anyway. Whatever, one
Yeah,
day.
she probably. No, she definitely will.
Well, how was Demon Slayer? Let's see, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Mugen Train, the movie. Fucking long ass
It
title.
was rated R.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're not supposed to take your kids, but
Yeah,
everyone,
don't take the kids. Yeah.
but everyone saw it anyway. So who cares? And if you didn't see
No,
it,
definitely.
not
You
cool.
suck. Yeah.
But
Sucker.
but so let's fall back into the anime part of this. The anime
Yeah.
that the first episode. What do you think Chainsaw Man in its adaptation from the just the manga itself? Because I want to we'll talk about a little bit about anime adaptations a little bit later on. But like, what does this do right? Just like not only just visually, but like story wise and pacing and all this other stuff like that. Like to me, the Chainsaw Man, it looked good. To me, it almost looked too good. Like I was like, damn, they put their and there's no like too good. This is me just being extra with it because I felt like wow, that first episode, we're getting to the point where these episodes are fully movies, fully movie quality things, especially when you deal with Mappa, who has done, Jujutsu Kaisen, has done Attack on Titan, who have done what's another great I will say Yusuke, but no, that's not a great anime. Has done a lot of things. And it looks really, really good.
Nah, it does. It looks amazing. Okay. I was real skeptical because I am not a CGI 3D fan. I listen, the whole CGI 3D thing be throwing me off. So um no, but watching it, I was able to like I think it's a good mixture and a good balance. They used it at the right moments, other times, but I could see what you're saying where it says it looks too good, like it's like way too perfect.
And I
But
feel
I
like,
don't know.
yeah, I feel like maybe it's because, well, if to me, if you also, I don't know why we're doing so many Demon Slayer comparisons today. Demon Slayer compared from the
Demon
manga
Slayer.
to the show, it is a 180. Them shits look like doodles in the manga, man. It looked like
Oh yeah,
real.
they do. They
You
do.
put some pens and shit together and just start drawing some shit. This one, Chainsaw Man is a little bit more refined in how it's drawn.
I think it's the grittiness of it. I think
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's the grittiness of it. I'm like, why?
that's
But I
what it
get what you're
is.
saying. It's like this is so clean.
It's
Like
so clean.
the lines are clean. Like everything looks so clean and like bright in a weird way. And like you're like, okay, like this looks really good. And I don't think it's an issue. I think once again, like I think they're just they poured so much into the animation of this. Obviously, I feel that this was going to turn out this way. It's really hard, I feel, anyways, to capture that grittiness with the style in which they were trying to do it. But I think it just works though in terms of story and how visually things are going to pop out, especially once we start getting into a lot of the big fights and big battles and throughout the series. But I think it just did a great job establishing Denji, who he is, what he's going through. Um, you feel really sad for him. They were able to just really paint this guy who was down bad, and also too like seeing the relationship between him and his demon. You can obviously tell that it's much different um than everything else and all the other demon relationships that we have seen. But I think first episode out the gate, it did everything right. It
Yeah,
hit on all the points in which that you um about what the series is about. It's
right.
gory, it's bloody, it's sad. There's some humor in it. Um, obviously the one of the biggest humor parts I feel, or what like makes the humor work so well, and you'll figure this out as the story goes along, is just like how oblivious Denji is to his own suffering at a point, and like this establishes that it's just like his life has been sad since he was a little kid, so
He
it's like
don't
of
know nothing
course
else.
he knows nothing else. So obviously, as he continues to go through fucked up things, he's just gonna be like, "Man, this is everyday life." Anyways,
This the story that's being told, just a quick synopsis on it, is that he was born in a situation. His parents died. His dad owed a debt, so now he owes this old man a debt via his father. So he's been spending his life trying to repay this debt by killing other devils. Um, he uh, he has sold his eye. I think some of his genitals he sold. I forget. Um, but he sold a couple of appendages of his body, um, and uh, he meets up with this devil, Pochita, who he makes a contract with. Essentially, I believe Pochita gives him some of his blood, or he gives Pochita some of
he
his
gets
blood.
Pochita because he meets Pochita when Pochita was down bad too.
Right, right.
They they
So
found each other in the struggle.
yeah, it's a little first episode of Pokemon-ish, but
Yeah, definitely.
it's a little.
You
I
struggling,
mean,
I'm struggling.
yeah,
Why not? Why not come together? We could probably help each other out.
absolutely. Listen, you know what? That's a great comparison. Chainsaw Man in the first episode of Pokemon.
This is all right. You know how people be doing like like the evil counterpart to somebody.
Yeah,
This is evil Pokemon.
absolutely. This is absolutely evil Pokemon. At least in this episode, I can't explain. Well, maybe I don't know. When you meet Power, that might be Misty. When you meet, Asa, it might be Brock or something. Um, but uh, he goes through that. Eventually, he meets up with the old man again. Old man betrays him, stabs him, pretty much mutilates him, throws him in a dumpster. Pochita essentially they make another contract. He combines with him and becomes the Chainsaw Man. Goes back in, finds out the old man is the zombie devil, uh, and all the people that he'd been killed is that who he's making contracts with, and they are zombies. So everyone that he's been killing and stuff are now zombies, and he has to fight his way through it. And Chainsaw Man absolutely does, and he wins. And then at the end of the episode, we see Makima, who's going to be a very pivotal person in the show. The
She looks
um
great.
she looks
She looks
great.
great. Yeah.
Already an icon just off the manga alone. Like when you start seeing uh cosplays and the show has not even come out, you got something.
Oh
Um
yeah. Oh yeah. Because you really gotta be tapped in. Like to do a manga only cosplay, that's for like the who
and,
knows.
and and her look is very simple, but it's also like I think it's meant to be disarming, but it's like there's something off about this one. Like
Oh
it's
yeah, definitely.
something off about
It's
her.
the
I don't
eyes.
know.
It's always the eyes.
It's
It's the
always the
eyes.
eyes. It's absolutely
It's
the
always
eyes.
the eyes.
So she went
That's always
into
the first thing they show you when they show you a bad guy. You see the eyes. You mess around, you see like a cool accessory.
mhm. She
You see the
is
eyes in like a club or some shit.
she's part of the, oh god, what are they called? Um
Demon Hunter.
yeah, the public safety devil
Yeah,
hunters.
yeah.
Yeah, so she's part of the public safety devil hunters, who we'll probably learn, actually you will learn about it in episode 2. Um they're like, there's firemen, there's police guys, and there's devil hunters, and that's kind of how the show is. And someone's got to get rid of these damn devils. Um and you'll learn about how devils are formed and all this other stuff like that, but we'll keep everyone's things to kind of like how episode 1 is. But episode 1 is great. Like I give it like a 9 out of 10, to be honest with you. I think maybe the music could have been better. um Something about Chainsaw Man feels like there should be a lot more like rock in it, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm used to, I don't know, just the sound of chain. It's gritty, it's dark. It's like I need some industrial, like I need Cell's first form theme or something along those lines. Like I need something like that. But it was very, very cool.
No. Also, one thing No, we gotta reference because I feel it's one of the biggest talking points. You know, an anime is good when the opening sequence is getting talked about just as much as like the actual show itself.
Mm.
Um, that opening sequence was so good. It's so cool that they're
Oh, and
able
so many
to,
references to
yeah,
movies. Oh
in the
my god,
movies, yeah, and Fujimoto is a known like
movie
film
buff.
junkie.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah, and
cinephile.
it's
Yeah,
so like the fact that they did all those movie references in that opening sequence and from classics too, like Reservoir Dogs, Texas Chainsaw Man, Pulp Fiction, No Country for Old Men, Big Lebowski. Like it's uh yeah, it's so cool to see them do that
they
and
took it
like
to
have
another
them do
level with
that
that shit for sure.
for
Absolutely.
real.
Um,
No, I think that was such a man. That was so key. That was so cool. I popped when I saw that. I was like, oh, they went dumb. I was like, they didn't have to go that crazy, but they did.
I'm always interested in, and I'll say this: people who have not read the manga, it's fine. I'm always interested in when we won't see it this season because I think this core will be only 12 episodes and we get another 12 episodes, and I don't know if it'll be finished yet. This might take more than one season to be finished, to be honest with you.
Where do you think they
Um,
stop at though? Sorry, it's gonna be a little spoilers,
I
but
have
like
no idea.
I
I
think
don't
I
know
think
because
they
I
could get the
haven't.
whole story in. I think they can get the whole story in one
I
season.
I don't think so, bro. Like these are some of these things. They extend out very, very long. Like I know the overall the manga is about 97 chapters, which is not a lot considering. I think generally a season of anime is about 30 something chapters. I think.
Well, I
Um,
mean, Jujutsu Kaisen got through 50. They got
hmm.
through a good chunk.
Well, they got
They got
24 episodes in. I'm talking about 12.
Oh, you talking about in this first core? Where you
Yeah,
think they
yeah,
can
yeah,
go?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I think
first
they go.
core. 'Cause I think they're gonna get the whole thing in within the two.
Hmm. That'd be interesting if they do that. I mean, for me, take your time. Maybe it's three cores. Maybe it's 36 episodes. I say
Yeah,
take your
maybe. I
time
don't know.
because ain't no way.
I guess they could two season it. They could. They could do
And there's
like
a Chainsaw Man
halfway.
part two, so it's like
Yeah.
there's part two of Chainsaw Man, which has begun already, and it's already up to me. That's what's so cool about it. It's already off to a very interesting start with part two of Chainsaw Man, and it's
Oh
not
yeah,
even
part two
surrounding
is
Chainsaw
ridiculous.
Man. Like it's crazy. Um, but so I want to ask you, as we talk about this, and maybe this is our last question. What makes a good anime adaptation? Because we have a lot of good shonen, in Shonen Jump right now. We've got Sakamoto Days. I believe that's going to get an anime. We've got Me and Roboco. I believe that's getting an anime.
Yeah,
Um,
that was confirmed.
it
So me
was
and Roboco's coming.
what else was confirmed for getting an anime soon? Shit.
Mashley, right? Mashley.
Yes, Mashal. Mashal is getting an anime. Um, and then we have other things like there's going to be season 3 of One Punch Man and all these other things that are coming out. What
Um,
makes a good anime adaptation to you?
I think there's a lot of things that play into that for me because I think first and foremost, like I don't think every manga is adaptable. I think there's just some stories that just read, feel, look better in a manga, and it just does not need to be animated. Like there's just
Example.
certain
I
story.
need an example. You gotta let me
Um,
know.
I gotta figure out. There's a couple. I'm gonna just go on Shonen Jump right now and
Might as
just
well open
quickly
the app.
list
Let's
it.
open the app right now.
Let's-
So I'm gonna see what I'm
Okay,
reading.
one that's actually getting one. I don't think Me and Roboco is a anime type manga. I feel
Mm,
that I feel that as a manga, it feels so much like Sunday morning cartoon or like in the comics, like you get the comic section out the newspaper. Like that's how it feels. It feels like it belongs in that. And I feel that there's just a certain especially how like the humor is in it. I just feel there's just certain things that just read better. Not to say that the anime won't be good or anything like that. I just feel personally, I'm just like, I feel this just fits better in this form. Um But I think to make a good adaptation, I'm not always one that says like you have to be super true to the source material or yada 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 and this and that. But I feel that also at the same time, you just need to stay true to the essence of like what the story was trying to tell and what it was supposed to feel like. I think with like, I feel that with the anime, it has a kind of a one up because you're able to like bring life to like real scenes and action scenes.
It's movement, it's music.
Yeah, it's the
There's a
movies.
lot
Yeah,
of there's
there's a lot of things that have to go with it. So I think as a reader, like, especially when I read, I can speak for myself. When I read, I imagine these things in my head. I like kind of
absolutely.
really put myself in a way of just like, what would I want to hear when this is happening? And like, how does I feel this? Like, how does this look and feel?
And I
And
feel
so
like
I
it's the
feel,
studio's job to take that even a step further.
yeah,
Like,
take it a step further where it's like, okay, now not only are you seeing what you visualize once in your head, but it's like in a weird way, like you're feeling it, like you're a part of it, like like you get drawn into the world, and you're just like, okay, cool, like like now I feel like this is like a living embodiment of this thing that I read, and I think that you know with that's the feel that you're looking for. I feel
mhm.
it's just that certain feeling of like breathing life to something that is, you know, that is very two dimensional and then bringing it to
Yeah,
life. Um,
absolutely.
I I think that's just it's that certain feeling that you're looking for. I think different animes just do certain things just better than others or do things differently. I think that once again we watch and absorb a lot of shonen on this show. Like
Hmm.
we're a shonen show. So for us, a lot of the things that we watch, action is a part of it.
Hmm.
There's a fight scene, there's a this, there's a that. So it's like we're looking at that. Also, I think main characters um are always the like big driving catalyst. So it's like how are you bringing this character to life? A character that's going to be shown throughout the entire series. This is who, like this is the main guy. Like, how are you going to make me a fan of this person or at least make him bearable enough for me to want to like continue to watch this show?
I think when you have really, 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 really good source content, um, and I always use so I questioned earlier this year. We questioned earlier this year, Jeff and I, about um some of the best anime adaptations because we had two really good ones going on at the same time, and it was Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. And I think they're good for different reasons. I think first of all, for Demon Slayer, the animation is so good that it's almost undeniable. Like you're brought into it. The choreography of the moves, the music, the intensity, the drama, they managed to take what was on the paper and take it like 10 steps further, in my opinion. Um, so that's Brooklyn in the background. But they managed to take it like 10 steps further. And then Attack on Titan, I felt like the best part of these of the adaptation was, to be honest, to me, one of the maybe undersung hero, maybe the best part was the voice actors. I still put what old boy, um gosh, Aaron's dad did,
Oh yeah.
even in Japanese. I was like, yo,
Oh,
he's he snapped. Like,
he went crazy.
and that's because of source content. That's to where you get to a point where you're believing the things that you're writing and you're into it and you're buying into it. And he's going crazy and he's oh my god and stuff like that. So there's different reasons and in different ways, but it's absolutely being able, the ability to breathe full complete life into the source content, the manga or webtoon or wherever the hell it is, and make it and take it like 10 steps further. That always makes a great anime adaptation. And to be honest, I see Chainsaw Man. Listen, the hype is real. The hype is
No, the
here.
hype is real, and it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they fake their way into it. Like they're worth the hype. It's worth tapping in with what they're doing. No, I'm really excited, and I fully agree with you too. Like voice actors, like a character got to sound. That's a big reason why I watch subbed and not dubbed as much.
Mm,
It's for the simple fact that it's just like hearing the English voice on these characters just does not fit. Like, I don't understand why. Like, it's
I
just
highly disagree, but go off.
I be like, I'm like, it don't fit. And then when I listen to the sub version, I'm just like, I don't know. The voice fits. Just how they're talking, like, it just fits. It just fits so much better. That's just me though. There
I
are some
highly
good dubs out there. There's some good dubs, but I think like the first time I watched like Dragon Ball subbed, I was like, oh, this sound like this is so much better. I was like, this is so much better.
That's insane. Everyone go to our YouTube and watch our interviews with all the dub actors for Dragon Ball.
I love them though. Shout out to them.
No,
But
but
that's
no,
just
I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, it's different. It's different for everybody. I do feel like, in my opinion, in terms of the sub versus dub conversation, and maybe this is an episode one day, um, that we cover this. In terms of that, there are some really good subs. There are some really good dubs. Um, but there are also some not good dubs, and I think overall generation of kind of like voice actors have become less distinct than before and less charactery than before. And that's kind of my only problem with it. But other than that, I mean, Chainsaw Man episode 1, boy,
what a special
we got a special one on
treat
our
we get.
hands. Yeah.
We do. It's definitely one of those ones, man. It's there for a reason. I'll say that. It's there for a
Absolutely.
reason.
Um, the only other anime I watched this week was Spy Family and My Hero Academia, and those are great. So make sure
I'm
you
right
got.
there. I'm right there with you. Those are the only three I watched this week. My Hero was really really good.
Everything you know that, I mean, we've covered this before and you've covered it before. Everything you know it's happening and it's still good is that's
That's a
cool.
good sign. That's a
Yeah,
good sign.
that's a good
Uh,
sign.
yeah, when you know what's gonna happen, you know what's happening, you know what's coming, and you still are like, damn, I'm still locked in. It feels fresh. I feel like also too, the war felt so long ago.
Yeah.
Like it
War
felt like a really long
2020.
time ago.
Wars 2020.
Yeah,
In
like
real life
that was
and in the manga.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's like, all right, cool. It feels newer. Like even with the Spy Family, so like Spy Family, like rewatching all this, I'm like, damn, it's been a minute, like
Yeah.
since I've really like
I've
seen this
never
again.
reread it. I've never reread it. So and we're both wrong. I think the tennis thing is coming up in like 2 arcs, so it's definitely not going to end
Oh
this
yeah,
season.
there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think it'll
I don't
end.
know what comes after this. See, once again, this is
I just
why.
I looked it up a little bit earlier. I forgot what comes after it, but it's before the cruise. Like there's the tennis, then something else, and then the cruise, and the something else is very small, so that probably will end it, and the cruise will start next season. Um, with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Um, this has been great. Of course, you can follow myself at Meelz TV. You can follow LJ at only at LJ on Twitter. You can subscribe to the Lookout at the Lookout on RNC Radio. We had to change our links on the thing because apparently Smart URL was bought out by Linkfire. And this is like some real technical shit. So Smart URL was brought out by Linkfire and then like destroyed all of the links and was like, no, you need to pay for it now. And I was just like, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. So if you're looking for our anime, it's still all the subscribe places is still there, but just click on the link tree, stuff on our pages and etc. And we got some good content coming for you. There's a One Piece movie coming out. We look to cover that. Um, there is God. What else do we have looking? I mean, there's Anime NYC that's coming up. There is. I would love to do a discussion on 90s versus 2000s versus 2010s anime,
I'm
and
down because I've been watching a lot of '90s anime lately
I
too.
feel like you have. I feel like you
I
have.
feel like I've texted you a lot about '90s anime
I
lately.
feel
I feel
like
I've
you
been
have.
so my previous feelings, my previous very strong feelings, because I have no weak feelings. All my feelings are very absolute. Um,
Okay.
There's been some
You're a
shift.
super
There's some
villain.
shift. I am a super villain. I listen. If I believe something, I'm gonna stand 10 toes in it, even if I'm wrong. But I think that I might have to be 9 toes in this one. I'm not all 10.
Mm.
There's been a change in my feelings that I
Huh.
would love to discuss.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to be open to discussion that pretty soon. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.